Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam. Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Monday, August 28th, 2023. And I have a confession on this sort of not mental health Monday. We are going to talk a little bit perspective of health, and we can correlate the mental health impact on those that are dealing with probation. We have Deputy Commissioner Pamerson Ifley coming in to speak with us about the work he's doing to make sure those that are on probation not only stay up to date and are aware of their next court date, not getting into trouble due to missing a court date, but ensuring they're aware that they can get health insurance. We know that healthcare is imperative to our overall quality of life. And so getting back to my confession, I think it was on Thursday. I had in there Thursday, August 25th, and August 25th was actually Friday. So before you all catch me, I'm surprised no one said anything last week. Making sure, okay, my guest, not Ifley, I'm sorry, Pamerson Eiffel is coming in just a moment, but I'm surprised you all didn't catch me on Thursday and get the date correct for me. Let's go in the Java Cafe. My guest is working on some tech issues in the background there, and let's see who is in this morning. Miss Teresa, good morning. Thanks for the picture of the double E's first day of school. Shout out to all the parents that got their kids ready going to school today and last week. Shout out to Mama Java. Keep her in prayer. Just, you know, life and things. Keep Mama Java in prayer as well. Vaughn, what's up, brother? Good to see you in the room. We got to connect, man. Post seeing each other at the airport. Also, Pastor Marion, good morning. Good to see you in the room. I see you were out this weekend with Mom to Mom, getting things together for their back to school giveaway. Shout out to my sister Wilma Faye, who is the pastor over there. Pastor Wilma Faye Mathis, also an author for what she's doing for the young people in the community. Sister Soraya, I felt like I haven't said that in a while. Good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Good to always see you in person at different. Listen, Sister Soraya will pull up, y'all. I see her everywhere. At every event, always present, doing something, her and her daughter as well. Good to see you in the room this morning. Opal, also good to see you in the room this morning. Hope all is well with you. I just realized, because Opal is always sharing and supporting the platform, seeing her name reminded me that I need to go in and do a little tech thing on my Java with Jimmy, not Java with Jimmy, on my personal page, because the way Facebook acts sometimes, I just don't understand what they be doing. See, like right now, it's not letting me do what I need to do. But Opal, thank you always for being so. Hold on. Y'all know how we do. If something doesn't do what it's supposed to do, we turn it off and turn it on again. So I had to close the app, and let's see what happens. Okay. Finally. Opal, thank you again so much for your support. Daryl Drumlight, listening in from Tennessee. Good to see you in the room, brother, this morning. Also, Naraki, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Have a little confession. I was kind of down your neck of the woods this weekend. And that's all I'll say. Naraki, good to see you, beautiful, in the room this morning. Heidi, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Charlotte, good morning. Good to see you in the room this morning. About to send off my scientist to Australia. You better get it. And please pray for traveling mercy for Charlotte's children or child that's going off to Australia to pursue their career in science. And that's definitely a good thing. Again, we have a Opal, of course. Thank you so much. We have a guest scheduled to come in this morning, but while he's getting his tech together, I just needed to pause for a minute in reference to activity this weekend. I remember on Thursday before I got off, I mentioned and admonished us as a community to do our best and allow those that are coming out from the Caribbean culture to be able, I believe well, that was after the fact. I just admonished us as a community to do our best. And generally, the majority of our community go to these events, parades, and whatnot in peace to celebrate culture, to celebrate Black joy, to be among family and friends and community. And unfortunately, and we cannot disband them, they are a part of our community, though not contributing in a manner that is productive and improving our quality of life. Yes, we have to give grace, understanding, and sight that systemic structures lead to poverty and despair. White supremacy in systems and structures lead to poverty being disproportionately impactful on Black and brown communities post-pandemic in this economy. Credit to that. But we're going to start to well, it's been time to start having a conversation, a come to Jesus meeting. And I've seen posts from those that move in this space, from victims, from those that used to move in this space, as far as those not contributing positively to our society. Y'all need to stay home. Don't come. Don't. If you got beef like that and you're going, anyway, most of the folks that need to hear this aren't those of you that are listening. So I'm not going to belabor that. We have to figure it out how aunties, uncles, parents who know that there's a gun in the crib, who know that something's going on. It's not snitching. Let's also give balance to the fact that there are some parents, single parents, let's be specific, single mothers who are raising kings, who are going through life trying to figure it out, been in situations where they feel they need to be protected. At worst, some just are about that life, and they feel intimidated, not able to freely maybe pick up the phone and say, hey, he needs help. She doesn't know how he's going to respond. And then she's to be in that house with him after all. And even if the workers were top notch, they're not in there 24/7. And so once the workers leave, she has to sit and deal with him fussing, cussing, being upset, and at worst, maybe physical. Come on, these are some realities in our community that we need to begin to have a real conversation about. So with all these factors in mind, and I put a post up that, and I said this before, Mother Teresa, President Obama, Gandhi, bring it more up to date, Jay-Z, Beyonce, cannot come into our homes and teach our, not just young people, not just young Black men, some females, some women are involved in this, young women, and some old heads are involved. No entity, municipality, state, county, regional, federal entity, individual, elected officials, not letting them off the hook and no cap for them, can come into your home and teach your children the value of human life. None of them can. And so the village somehow, again, needs to figure out. Tito Jackson said at Chuck Turner's funeral, the cavalry is not coming. I've heard a lot of the concern about the municipal level. What is the city doing? I've also heard some critique about me that I'm not fussing and cussing like I used to. I'm not going to share with you some other commentary that was shared with me. Um, but even if these things were top notch, there would be an impact. But we've had the conversation before about all the services and whatnot that go on and provided outside the home. And if these young people go home and they're not in spaces that are conducive to their development, then and this is one of the reasons that we talk about wrap around services. We don't just service the person on our caseload. This is why government agencies and nonprofits need to figure out, if they're on your caseload and your caseload and your caseload, how are you guys communicating? Where the collateral? Back when I used to do direct services, we would have collateral meetings. Everybody that was involved in this person's life well, we weren't on calls then, got in a room. Well, we do conference calls back then. We would get in a room and figure it out. You're doing this, you're doing that, you're taking them there, you're doing this. So we can take this part. We can get the family food, we can get the family clothes. Now, here's where municipalities, state, and government agencies need to come in. And we've talked about, and we've challenged the mayor to do this specifically in the space of those that are getting money from the city for violence prevention. There needs to be audits from top to bottom. If your agency sent, when's the last time that the state, feds do a real good job. I used to be a Fed grant monitor. They do pretty well. But on a local level, how are we holding the state and the city and the county accountable for money that they're giving to entities that may not be as impactful as they used to be? There's an agency out there right now that has been getting money ever since I was in Mayor Menino's office. And word on the street is they don't show up. Phone numbers associated with websites don't work. Local major legacy news outlet did a story and actually called. So something at that level has to be done. Let's talk a little bit about our elected officials. This is an election year. Everybody, well, I'm going to behave. We have a guest this morning. He's trying to, maybe as soon as I need to get out what I need to get out, all of a sudden his tech will work. And that lets us know that maybe this needs to be said. It's an election year. Folks are popping around at events. Folks are taking pictures, posting on social media. I do the same. However, y'all ain't elected me to be a voice that represents you in City Hall around ordinances and programs and funding and things that improve and impact should improve and impact our quality of life in a more positive manner. I don't, and this is not just to this cohort. I've been saying for years that it's so interesting that as a whole, not just our Black and brown, but those that aren't Black and brown, that represent a large population of Black and brown constituents, where are you? Where are you? Where's minimally, and not just the empty blanket statement, but where is your statement letting us know that what you're doing? How are you pushing the administration? How are you communicating with the administration? How are you working with local nonprofits in your district to ensure that they're still impactful? And if they're not, either get them some TA, liaise a partnership with the agency that they can, or move the money to an agency or entity that is impactful. Okay. Brother Permerson, that's fine. Just turn it sideways. It's more important to get the information out. We are making progress in the tech. Permerson Eiffel is coming in to talk with us about what he's doing to ensure that those that are on probation get the information they need so they can have health care. And until he comes, this is the vein in which we're moving. It's so interesting, you guys. Let's go in and check on some of the comments. Pick up where I left off. Got Sister Charlotte. Let me get some music back in here. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to fuss. Asia, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Miss T, I ain't messing with you. Turn it off, turn it on again. It wasn't the computer, it was something with Facebook on the phone, on the app. There were 2 shootings at the Caribbean Festival here in Worcester as well. So it's not just Boston. Thaddeus also names often that it's not just Boston. And we got to give, let's just cite that the numbers in comparison to other cities, ratios and things like that, aren't as bad. But ask that of those who have been shot or family members who are survivors. Those numbers don't make any difference. If you're hearing the shootings, if you're hearing the police go by every day, those numbers don't make any difference. And some of our elected officials have named that. You got to cite impact, yes. But okay, brother, come on, turn the phone on, and I'll bring you in. I'll turn the camera on the phone, and we can get started. I'll go back to the comments for a second while we're waiting for Brother Parison to come in. Ayana, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Good morning. Trouble at Carnival at South Bay involving young people. In this issue, I told Brother Shagun some months ago that the way that things are moving over in South Bay, are we going to have a South Bay mall? Stores are closing. Now, this isn't y'all young. It is imperative that parents continue and expand the way that they engage and communicate with their children to ensure they understand that when they are participating in activities where they're throwing rocks off a parking lot, they're going to hurt someone that could cause a car accident. They could possibly be arrested. On the other part of that, some of these young people, and we talked about before at Ashmont Station and school let out, that, they're fighting with police and pushing back on police and whatnot. Please continue to engage and figure out better ways to expand your communication to have influence on your children. And I'm being very intentional and specific about how I'm saying this, to ensure that they understand that they are putting themselves at risk. And if someone knocks at your door about your child's behavior, please consider listening in a comprehensive manner about what's being communicated to you about your child. And yes, 14, 15, and 16-year-olds are still children. That's a whole, I don't know how I got here on a Monday morning, y'all. Sharon Cornelius, good morning. I was accountable to her, and also Benita and some others, included Frida in the inbox as well. Was not around this weekend, could not make it to the Temple Worshipers 25th reunion recording that happened at Morningstar Baptist. But based on what I saw on social media, it was an awesome event. I see Brother Parison is working on another device, trying to get in here to make sure we get this information out. And there he goes. All right. There he goes. We got him. I'll continue maybe my commentary at the end, but let's bring in Brother Parison Eiffel, not a stranger to the Java Cafe. He's been with us before talking about, I believe it was the tech service that you guys put in place, or service you put in place to ensure that those that are on probation don't further their engagement by missing a court date. But you guys were aggressively working to keep in contact with those that are on probation. Today, we are here to talk about you working to ensure that those that are on probation get what? Well, good morning. I'm sorry. I'm a little spicy from some commentary about the events of the weekend. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I apologize. I'm actually in New York.
Okay.
I'm in New York, and for some reason, I'm in a hotel, and there are
and the Wi-Fi.
There are a few thousand people here for a conference, so it is impacting the connectivity in the building.
Okay, understood, sir. Well, what we'll do is we won't hold you too long, but we want to make sure that we get the information out about what you're doing and how you're getting healthcare information out to those that are on probation. So please go ahead and let us know what's going on. If there's a phone number or a website, you can tell me. I'll type it in and put it on the screen. But we want to get the old folks used to call the meat of the information, and then we'll let you go because I know how it is to be in a hotel and the Wi-Fi won't work with you. So and as a host, yeah, so I get it, brother. But tell us what you're working on now.
So I think the last time I was on with Joy hinted that we were working on training individuals within the court system how to be able to become what we call certified application counselors to Mass Health and the Executive Office of Health and Human
That's right.
Services.
Yep.
We have trained more than 25 individuals. So now any person who has a touch point with a court system, we are working to be able to provide health insurance access to those individuals. So the way it works, Jimmy, is that if you've gotten arrested and you during the intake process, a probation officer or an associate probation officer will ask, "Do you have health insurance?" And if you say yes, fine. If you say no, we'll be asking you if you're interested. And if you say you're interested, we will fill out a short information packet. We will follow up with you, and we will. One of our certified application counselors will then work with you to enroll in Mass Health. So we will do from start to finish, where we will actually do the actual health enrollment. And this is really revolutionary because we don't, court systems. This isn't something that a court system has done that we know is happening anywhere in the country, where individuals now will be able, regardless of what they're involved with the court with, we're looking to provide them with access to health insurance. We know that in the Commonwealth, in some court locations, as many as 55% of individuals who are court involved don't have health insurance in a state where healthcare is supposed to be free. So we're piloting this at Roxbury Municipal Court, Dorchester Municipal Court. We're piloted down in Greenfield District Court. We also piloted at the New Bedford District Court, Middlesex Superior Court, and I know that I'm missing actually at the Pittsfield District Court. So we're trying to get a feel around the Commonwealth, urban, rural, suburban,
Yep.
to get a feel for what. And once we see how the system is working, we're looking to scale this up at every courthouse across the Commonwealth. So all 90 plus court locations, if you have a touch point. But we're also looking at housing court, juvenile court, probate and family court. We don't care where you are. We want to make sure that if you're involved with the court system, that you have access to health insurance.
Absolutely. Why is the court insurance? This isn't a court sort of functionality. The court, traditionally has not been involved in its litigants, if that's the right word, healthcare and quality of life. And so why is it this assertive effort to make sure they have it? Why is it important to the court?
Well, these are all equal access to justice outcomes. The majority of people that are involved and engage in our court systems are poor. They're from, more often than not, from communities of color. They live, and so we understand that in order to improve access to justice outcomes, we also need to take care of the quality of life issues. Look, I think you know this. If neither one of us had jobs or have access to quality housing or healthcare, how we survive and the calculations that we make may significantly different. So as you were talking about the youth and juveniles and issues happening now just around the city of Boston, but all over the country. So what happened in Boston is sad and is as difficult as it is. We've got this universal issue of violence and crime, impacting every major city and county everywhere in the United States. But nevertheless, to every victim, that's as problematic, and we need to be able to address some of the root causes of this. And so this healthcare, I want to say this, I'm the Deputy Commissioner for Pretrial Services, and one of the things that are important to us, we know that when people are in pretrial, we're trying to do what Chief Justice, our former Chief Justice Ralph Gentz, God rest his soul, wanted to do was a run and start. When people are in pretrial or probation, we want to get them the services that will help them to be successful and limit the entry and long-term pathways into the court system. So this is what this program is designed to do. We want to remove, we know that when folks come before judges and they don't have health insurance, access to treatment, mental health care, substance abuse care, any other quality issue, we know that there are barriers if you don't have health care. We want to remove that barrier. And we think the court is a place where we see a lot of folks struggling at the margins, and we think we can have an impact here.
I think it is I asked that question to you, I knew the answer. But I
Yeah.
asked that to ensure, and thank you, because you spoke to more than that question, and know that somewhere along the line you're going to see a clip of the general feedback and citing of the issue in our country, in reference to violence and whatnot. Thank you for that as well. I wanted to extract that from you because I think it's important for people to understand that may have been involved in some systems that don't trust the system. We understand that the white supremacy in a lot of system and structures, namely the justice system, and you talked about the foundation of this being equity and justice reform, may not trust the system. And so that's why I wanted to make sure that you were able to cite and to tell us why and what the motive was. And you being at the helm in that position, folks need to know that they got somebody there that understands and is ensuring that there's no, just to keep it simple, no funny business going on if they come and ask for services.
Look. So I want to say this, and I think one of the things that people may not be aware of, but the Supreme Judicial Court, Chief Justice Kimberly Budd, Court Administrator and Thomas Ambrosino, Chief Justice Jeffrey Locke. One of the things that they've spent a lot of time over the last several years really invested in: how do we address the issue of equity and fairness? How do we address the disparity in sentencing among populations of color across the trial court? And so the trial court is spending a lot of money through the trust of the legislature and really trying to tackle and understand this issue. We have trained our entire leadership across the trial court on this issue. We have conducted now more than 48 sessions over the last year of training every probation employee around diversity, equity, and inclusion, and around racial and ethnic disparity and how it impacts not only nationally, but our Massachusetts system. And again, this healthcare component, I've talked to you in the past about, we've got a text messaging system trying to make sure we reduce the unnecessary issuance of defaults. And we've sent out more than 600,000 text messages now over the last year and a half, 2 years, because we want to reduce all of the touch points where people may run into trouble or have issues within the court system. So this meant this Mass Health initiative, and I want to give a big shout out to the folks over at Mass Health for really looking for opportunities to provide greater access. We've got a lot of behavioral health initiatives with them, and this is one of those collaborations that we think can get to the most vulnerable populations. We don't only want to, as a probation officer, and if you spend time engaging our probation officers, you'll realize that they're more, the days of trailed them, nailed them, and jailed them are over in the Massachusetts Probation Service. That's not who we hire. We are hiring people with master's level degrees with somewhere between 8 and 15 years of experience working at the human services level, committed to changing the lives of people that they're working with. We are not interested in sending people to prison. But at the same time, we work to ensure public safety we want to still protect our communities. So we've got process for this, but you spend time with probation officers. We want to get to know our clients. We want to engage them. We want to talk to them. But we also want to make sure that they have the services and the tools and the skill sets to be successful. And so I think that is at the heart of the new form of probation. I don't want to call it a new form, but we've been doing this with significant success over the last 10, 15 years. Massachusetts has one of the premier probation systems anywhere in the country. Not only the oldest one in the country, started in 1850, we have one of the top probation systems anywhere in the world.
Again, I mean, when you're on, I'm always just sitting here like, yes, because it is important to know that you are an example. I'm going to deviate just a little bit. When we talk about community policing, when we talk about equity and justice from a lens of those that have been most impacted, our Congresswoman talks about those that have been closest to the pain, need to be closest to the power. We need our young people and those that have been through some things to consider going in law enforcement, to consider wanting to be a judge, to consider wanting to be a lawyer. And so them somehow, one of the Java folks, sit little 14-year-old Pookie in front of the TV or computer to watch you. It's important to highlight the fact that there are people in the system trying to change it. That's the thing that I think stands out to me so much when you come on and you just get straight to the point. You cite, you balanced, you cite the issue, you cite the things that challenge us. You also cite a level of accountability. We're sensitive. We don't want to put people in jail, but we also have a priority of public safety. And so that the community needs to know that there are people in this administration, in the trial court system, that aren't just there to lock people up. And you cited also that y'all got folks that are coming in now that have former human services experiences. So not just the criminal justice degree and whatnot. So it's just good to hear. Because I've had some family members, friends. I used to work with juvie, and it hasn't always been this way. Let's just frame it like that.
And look, and we'll acknowledge that. And I think again, Commissioner Edward Dolan, the former commissioner, retired a few months ago, but he spent 10 years really trying to reform a system around evidence-based practice, community integration, supervision. And these terms may or may not mean a lot to people, but what they easily translate in, we want to get to know the individuals on probation. We want to understand the root causes of why people keep coming back to our system. And then we want to, put the kinds of services in place to address those, so there are two factors here. There's static factors, and then there are these dynamic factors. And let me just explain this. We can't change your age, or your race, or the time of first offense. You call those static factors. But we know that there are the dynamic factors where we call like substance use, education, employment,
housing,
mental health stuff. Housing. All of these are things that we can work to help and find the right services. The Massachusetts Probation Service and Trial Court is spending $15 million on average now every year around housing or short-term housing for individuals coming out of release from the DOC and jails, but also people on probation around the Commonwealth. So, this isn't stuff that is known to the public. And sometimes I say we are our worst enemy because we don't get the message out. We are involved in business that traditionally hasn't been part of the court. And again, these are things that we know that we are such a critical touch point for a lot of people who somewhere in their life, some system have failed or they may not have made the right decisions. But here is a court system that is really trying to get, look, a lot of people talk about empathy and understanding. I say this all the time. Those are minimum standards. We're supposed to be nice. We're supposed to be professional. We're supposed to be engaging. We're supposed to have compassion for our fellow human beings. So if you have to explain to me if I have to explain to you what empathy and understanding is or compassion is, then I'm failing. I shouldn't have to know it. I should be doing that through my actions. And I think we are trying to do that in the court system. And really have an impact on the people's lives and long-term outcomes.
Brother Pamerson, in this vein, there isn't that much that Commissioner, I'm sorry. There really isn't that much. Deputy Commissioner, there really isn't that much more to be said by there. I ask you, and we can do it right now, is there a phone number? Is there a website in which people that are on probation, and I mean, the number one thing they can do is ask their probation officer. Correct?
Yes.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
Appointment. But what if there is a family member that has influence, that is helping and supporting someone through their journey? Is there a number or website or email, any way that there's a touch point for someone that wants to get more information?
So look here, I'm going to give you my email address is Pamerson, Pamerson. Well, it's the name on the screen, but PAMERSON.IFILL@jud.state.ma.us. You also can give me a call at 617-727-5300, and they will make sure that I get the information out. I don't want to just. I'd love to
give you a direct line. Don't give you a direct line. No. Don't do that.
So folks can reach me there, and but the email is the easiest way. But in the event they go to any courthouse and they ask how to reach me, somebody will provide them with my information. And as we are launching this as a pilot, once we, over the next few months, we'll be able to start rolling out. But we don't care if somebody calls now and says, hey, how can you help me enroll? I'll make sure that one of our 26, 27 people who are doing this work will work to enroll them in Mass Health.
Deputy Commissioner Eiffel, thank you so much for being with us this morning. You kind of helped pulled me back in the spirit of the spirit that was coming out about my commentary. You have that calming sort of persona about you, so I appreciate you, sir.
Hey, Jimmy, you know, I spend a lot of time in the ring, so I need to stay calm, even under pressure. so maybe we should connect. I'll take you to some boxing lessons. We'll work on how to release some of that tension, because I get it. Look, it is hard to work in this space and be a voice for a community that sometimes, doesn't see itself having the kind of representation and support. So I get that part. But again, I'm saying to you that the trial court is not your old court. This is not your mother's or grandparents' trial court. This is your court. These are community courts. These are courts that we want people to walk in. They're going to see people that look like me or look like themselves or speak their language, who have also lived on the margins and struggle and know and understand what part. Look, I lived alone off and on from the time I was 13 years old. I've struggled. I know what many of the juveniles, I said more often, I was born in Barbados, but I said if I was born in the United States, I'd either be rich or dead, because there's behaviors and activities that I got involved with but people help to steer me on that right path. So I bring that kind of approach to my work as the deputy commissioner of the court system. But my story isn't unique. We have a lot of employees, judges, clerks, probation officers, associate probation officers that are thinking that way, because the trial court is building that kind of commitment and compassion and access to justice that we want to translate across.
Brother, and I say brother respectfully, Deputy Commissioner Eiffel, thank you, folks.
Thank you.
If you want to reach out and get some more information, you can email him here or call and ask for him by name at 617-727-5300 and ask for him by name, Parmesan, Deputy Commissioner Parmesan Eiffel. Thank you so much. Get back to the conference, sir, so you don't walk in late to that morning session or plenary.
Yes.
And I appreciate you for coming on and working through the tech difficulties there. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you.
My pleasure, brother. Stay safe.
Yes, sir. And give Corey
and shout out to you all.
Thank you. And give Corey my best.
I will.
Thank you.
I definitely will. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Always love having that brother on. I'm just going to check in a little bit on the comments, and then we will get ready to disband. Kind of a late notice here. Well, I'll say that at the end. Thank you so much, Miss T, for thanking him. Lasagna, good morning. Good to see you in the room, sis. Good to see you in the room. Sharon Marable, good to see you in the room. A different face. Well, I don't know. I think you look a little bit familiar. I think I've seen you in the room before. I've seen you, I think, in person before, definitely. Good to see you in the room this morning. And thank all of you for commenting. I see some comments in reference to the South Bay piece I was saying. Terry Trotman, I was at the movies right before all that chaos yesterday. I went across the street to converse. Then while I was in the parking lot getting ready to leave, all of a sudden, all these police cars, state police, transit police, Boston police started racing. And I knew it was all because all of those kids were at the movie theater hanging outside. And of course, up to no good. I would say respectfully, Terry, I get the, of course, because we were all young people. So if it's from that vein, we were up at some extent to no good. Also, we did not have the influence of social media. We did not have access to certain things because of the internet. And so it's a little bit different for this group. Also, if you didn't have a phone, it took a while to call and tell everybody to meet up or this is going on. Now you send a group text, put something on Snap or TikTok, and it's there. It's coming down to parenting. I really believe that. I don't have a degree in anthropology and psychology. No, I just come from a good home, not a perfect home, a good home, and have been around those that have struggled, but still were able to keep their children in check. Made sure they understood the quality of life. made sure that they got their education and went to school despite. And so this is no browbeating on those that are challenged, but somehow the village, y'all, we listen. I've said this before. I'm very afraid of what I don't know. I got a little bit some spiritual gifts. And the handwriting on the wall, if we don't get in there somehow and change the paint or repaint some things like they do when you got a bad tattoo and you got to go in and kind of get somebody to change it. If we don't focus on the handwriting on the wall, I'm just very afraid. I don't want to articulate what I'm specifically afraid of, but we got to support our parents so they can support their young people. And for those that just are about that life, no matter if you gave them every single solitary service, mansion at Encore, $85,000 a year, a Benz for a car with a driver. I mean, top-notch healthcare. What's his name? I'm just using him as an no. Let's talk about the wonderful Queen Ayana, or Iana, the sister, the psychologist. They were in her counseling. Everything perfect. Unfortunately, they would just still want to go out and just be on Snap or whatever with their guns and all that. Unfortunately, there is a population that's still a part of our community that exists. But we got to figure out how to coexist. Y'all can't check the comments and get off of here. Thaddeus, stop that parenting. That's wrong with the every word comes out of your mouth. Still love you, huh? That's wrong with every word that comes out of your mouth. Nah, it. I see you. And then you come with that comment. No, it I'm trying to give balance. And earlier, Thaddeus, I did talk about system structures that, you know, have influence. But what are you specifically saying? Are you saying that some of the young people are just, you know, unfortunately, I think it's a part. It's definitely a part. Thaddeus, give me some clarity if you're still on. Teresa said again, you cannot stop parenting at 16. It has to start at birth. So, and that's always a interesting topic here. And I really try to be balanced, but and I gave balance earlier on about what affects parenting. I also said in the past and often that the home sometimes, for various real valid reasons, aren't conducive to this. And Anissa said, and stop being your child's friend. Yep. Be, you know, I said earlier that parents continue to engage your children and expand your communication with them to have influence on them. And so up until that level, you know, I guess a good test is if your children are calling you bruh or bro, that might be a good indicator. Okay. Uncle, if you're still on, let me know so we can close that piece out and be clear. And for anybody that's new to the platform, this is what Uncle and I do. Speaking of, okay, that part. Yep. So not implied specifically about that, but yeah. That I haven't really talked about that part of the balance. So what Thaddeus was saying is, and some folks have been on here and said, yo, I came from 2-parent home and did very well. And it kind of speaks to, you know, we could give some young people the Encore, the Bentley and all that. But the clarity, I know some great parents and their kids got caught up, mental health care, etc. So thank you for that clarity. That perspective, absolutely. That, you know, it's just sometimes that 1% could be influenced by mental health, could be influenced by social. I mean, the whole spectrum of why young people get caught up is why. And so thanks, Thaddeus, for that balance. Anissa said, but also some parents only know what they know. And unfortunately, it's the best they know. So it just may be the best that they can do. Anissa, thank you. I think those 2 points there are a good way to kind of close out on this piece here. Both of those are summed up with grace and understanding. So, and I'm going to be transparent and name that prior to Thaddeus naming the comment, some of my commentary could have been implying that the only ones that are caught up from in this are from single parent homes. No, thanks for circling that part back. We've said that before as well, that some just for whatever and various reasons, y'all. All right, I'm going to get ready to wrap up. We will see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We will not be on Wednesday. Wednesday is the WGBH live show at 12 noon at the Boston Public Library, the News Cafe there. So the information is on my page. Please go and consider coming out. We have 4 or 5 Black-owned businesses that will be represented there. We're closing out Black-owned Business Month with Aaron Davis of the Davis System, also Malia Lazu of the Lazu Group, and Daniel Laurent of Black Dollar LLC. That's taking place on Wednesday at 12 noon. So we will not have a 9 a.m. show on Wednesday. We'll be back on Thursday to talk with the Brainery. Some 2 great young men, a couple that I've seen, and just they're doing great in the community. And so they'll be with us on Thursday. Thank all of you for tuning in this morning, and we will see you again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Dr. Brandy reached out to me this weekend just to check in. So we're going to figure out how we incorporate her and sort of some of the sports commentary and a little bit of mental health still back into the platform as we're getting ready to rebrand. Oh, y'all save the date of September 16th at 3 p.m. Location and stuff will be shared later. September 16th at 3 p.m. We're having the public open, non-others Java with Jimmy birthday celebration day party on September 16th at 3 p.m. from 3 to 6 p.m. That's the everybody come and just, I can thank you for wishing me a happy birthday. And then, at 6 o'clock, we'll say thank you for coming. And there are some other things planned for the others on that evening. And so we will get you the information. I want to know about the one after 6 p.m. Love you, Miss T, and no, you don't, judge and let folks just, as long as they safe, have a good time and whatnot. But there's some of y'all that I just have that level of respect for. And, and y'all know ain't nothing going on unseemly. But yeah, 6 o'clock. Thaddeus said at 6 o'clock. We talk about parents. All the parents need to go home at 6 o'clock. Not all of them. Well, anyway, let me behave, Jesus. So yes, we could. I can be reached too. We will get that information out very soon. Anissa, I don't know if I should do this. If you are free, I need about 4 or 5 people. If you are free tomorrow at 2 p.m. to be available in the South End, please email us at info@javawithjimmy. We are doing Anissa and Aaron. I got to get y'all some info too. Anissa and Aaron are I'm having a photo shoot tomorrow for the rebrand and just different things. And this is very late. If you are free tomorrow about 2 p.m. and can get to the South End and give us about an hour or 90 minutes to be part of that shoot, they want to ensure that some of the Java family is incorporated. Email us with the subject photo shoot, and we'll get you some information. I only need about 4 or 5 people. So you will need to be able to get to the South End near Ruggles Station. And we would need you from about 2 p.m. at 2:30. You need to get there, plan to be there at 2:30. And we would need you till about 3:30, 4 o'clock. All right. No particular dress code. Think that you're going to a cafe after work in the morning. You want, if you happen are available and it works out and you happen to have something on that's a little bit red, a little pop or something, I mean, I wouldn't be mad, But that's it for me this morning. Let me see if Anissa commented. Hold on. Oh, if you are free to be part of the Java with Jimmy photo shoot tomorrow at 2:30 p.m., please text RSVP to 404-436-1844. Listen, hold on. I just need to take that information. If you really know me, you know everything that is going on with me right now. I see my face turning pink. So if you want to be part of the Java with Jimmy photo shoot tomorrow around 2:30 p.m., please RSVP text 404-436-1844. Miss Teresa, I'm not messing with you. Okay. I'm going. Either email or there goes Sharon. Anissa, if you meet the diva, you see her profile picture, right? This is the diva mother. Matter of fact, she'll probably push me out the way we talk about. All right. If y'all are available, this is where you text to get more information about the photo shoot tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Wow. All right. I'm getting that funny feeling in my stomach, so I'm going to get ready to wrap up. Shout out to Miss Teresa. We want to acknowledge this. Some of you that follow the platform and know we've cited before that Miss Teresa has had issues with her knees. There's a couple of weeks ago that we had to shout out to Dr. Rickley. We had to do some connecting, but they did what they're supposed to do with this Black woman to ensure that she is mobile. And so, Miss Teresa, we want to celebrate your mobility. And being able to, y'all don't understand. There's when you can, and she's a doer. Half of this stuff that y'all see me on with jackets and t-shirts and what, there's a couple of t-shirts I'm going to debut in the photo shoot that are hot. Uncle Thaddeus, I got your t-shirts. We'll be making sure they get dropped off on September 8th. Don't forget Black Joy. I forgot to mention that before because we were talking about the parents. September 8th. I forgot the exact time, Uncle. In the evening, we are going to be celebrating Black Joy again at the ICA, curated by our Uncle Thaddeus here for the Black Joy movement. So please plan to be a part of that. That is my actual birthday. And because of our relationship and just supporting this, and our birthday does induce some level of Black Joy, I'm going to celebrate with the uncle on the 8th. And so come and celebrate that and come and celebrate my birthday, Black Joy. Meet me there. Come out. All right. All right, that's it. I'm getting off of here. Don't forget 6 to 9 on September 8th. And so please come out. Last year, it was very interesting. Uncle, you're good. You're slick. He snuck something in there for the actual birthday. So I appreciate you, man. Again, last time, if you are available for the photo shoot tomorrow, please RSVP text 404-436-1844, and you'll get the information and details for tomorrow. Thank you so much. And yes, Mr. Also, I'm going to put this out there. I've been struggling with whether I want to do a post or whatever. I would like to move, and I would like to move by October 1st. At some point, I will share the details on a Testimony Tuesday of why I would like to move by October 1st at the advice of counsel. So anyway, please, if you are aware, and I want to stay in Boston, God knows I always want to vote in Boston or Miami-Dade County. I always want to vote in Boston, but I had to consider the other day, have I gotten to the point where am I being priced out? So little deviation from wanting to purchase a home, the economy and all that hit. But if you know of, and I'm going to put the ideal out there, someone renting a house, a one-family house. That's what I would really like to do until I go ahead and make this move of housing. Been advised by some folks to still wait a little bit longer for that interest rate to drop down. But then we understood from Joanne Edwards, I believe, what is it? Real estate don't wait, what she was saying. So, but I am putting out there that until then, just keep your ears open if you hear about a 1-2 bedroom apartment in the Boston area. All right. That is it for me this morning. Anissa, you doing what you doing virtually. We will dedicate a whole show to raising money for Anissa. Anissa, if you move back to Boston, Lord have mercy. But you know what? That's a little bit selfish. I really challenge those that get out of here and have made it out of here for a long time and doing it. If you want to come back and feel need to come back, please, you're welcome and I would love it. But you I've seen some of your social media stuff and transition and coming up and being a queen and doing things. So whatever you do, we'll support you. But if you finally decide to come back, we will have a fundraiser. We'll do a rent party. Old school rent party. But no, Anissa, in all seriousness, see, always on point. Get real estate and wait. So yes. Same. I want to move back, but it's so pricey, as she was saying a few minutes ago. Love you as well, Ma. Daddy is talking about coming to Lowell. Listen. I'm a business owner in the Boston area, so I still got official grounding. You know, some of the trolls and haters, if they found out I moved outside of Boston, well, how could you speak to Boston issues? I got over 40 years of work in this city. And I sit up straight and say that and can cite some impact. All right, let me get off of here. You all have a wonderful Mental Health Monday. Remember to be intentional about your mental health. We didn't flow into that today. Why don't we do this to close out? Type one word in the comments that talks about your mental health status right now. How are you feeling? What's going on with you on this Monday? I will be honest. I've found myself saying a lot. Summer is over. The weather, needing a hoodie the other day. Like I was aggravated. But put one word in the comments as we get ready to wrap up for today's show, Monday, August 28th. Please share the information from Deputy Commissioner Eiffel in reference to getting health care from those that are on probation. Mika, lucid, I think I got. I don't got to look it up. Usually when Mika puts a word in, I got to go to the dictionary and see what it means. Lucid, I think, means like, I think you be doing this on purpose, Mika, to kind of help improve my my vocabulary. I ain't mad at it either, but it's not an unfamiliar term. Where is it? Comprehensible, understandable, congent, coherent. Okay. So Mika, as always, is just sitting back and watching and aware. All right. Thank you. As always. Miss T said clear. I just saw Kathy. Kathy, good morning. Anxious due to medical appointment. You all keep Kathy in your prayers. Send her good, positive, healing energy. Charlotte, thank you. Clarity, lucid is clear. Sharon Cornelia said rested after her wonderful weekend of singing up on stage, holding down the tenor section. Good to see you as always in Sharon Cornelius. Sharon Cornelius, Sharon Cornelius. Said it 6 times today. Said it 6 times today. Thank all of you that dropped in a couple of words there. We're going to get ready to wrap up. Thanks for hanging out for an hour. Sharon, it's 10:02. What say ye about you all's points for Union Capital Boston? Sharon, I was on a Zoom with Eric the other day. We're actually having dinner. Eric and I are having dinner or lunch later this month. Bubble wrap. I could, Thaddeus, but I don't know if we should. Bubble wrap. Please clarify, sir. And then we'll hop up off of here. Teresa said, come here. We can build in the back. Lord have mercy. We're going to wait for Uncle Thaddeus to clarify the bubble wrap if he can. What are y'all in here talking about? 1.5 and rested. I don't know. All right, I'm going to wrap up, y'all, because it is that. Oh, Sharon's just that quick, y'all. Sharon said 1.5 hours. Terrible. See, 1.5 hours for those of you that get points for what Java with Jimmy is a part of Union Capital Boston's point system. Community residents sign up for this program. They get points for doing community activities. And Java with Jimmy is one of those platforms or entities or activities in which you all get points. So reach out to Sharon if you're interested in that. Oh, Thaddeus. I got to go there for a second. So for those of you that are already members, you get 90 minutes today worth of points. All right. To Thaddeus's point, I asked about a mental health word, and he said bubble wrap. And I asked him to clarify, and he said lots of noise. And now I get it. Y'all know, and I do it. We get a hold of the bubble wrap, we're just popping and popping. And shout out to Nia Grace that put up a post the other day about tuning out the noise and continuing to rise. And so Thaddeus, one, it's not a surprise that as we get closer to Black Joy Weekend, the Road to Wellness Weekend, all the things that you have founded and curated, you're hearing a lot of noise to possibly be a distraction. As you would tell me, stay focused, brother. The noise is real. And if any part of the noise you want to decipher through, you know I'm here. I love you, man, and I appreciate you. But a lot of us are dealing and have to dispel and fight through the noise. That was a good example. Bubble wrap. It's surprising. It could be a little triggering from the noise. And so we're here to help you unwrap. All of us as family, we're here to help each other unwrap. That was a good close out to Mental Health Monday. Thank you, Uncle. Ma said fidget or fidgety. Keep mom in prayer as well. I appreciate that. And yeah, Nia Grace is supposed to, she once in a while, but when she does, she makes you go, All right, it's 10:05, y'all. I'm getting off of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting. Please invite others to be a part of the Java family in the Java Cafe. Don't forget September 16th, 3 to 6 p.m. In the Dorchester, Blue Hill Ave area. We'll get more details out about that. And again, we will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m.